Senior Senator from the great state of Arizona, Senator John McCain. Good morning, Senator McCain.
Good morning, Don. How's the weather out at the ranch?
It's great here, Senator. It's just around 80 degrees. And
had a little rain?
We've had rain all summer, man, so I've never seen it. A couple days we had 2 inches of rain, did almost $500,000 worth of damage to the roads and fence and stuff. Of course, that the insurance company doesn't cover, of course. So,
but the wildflowers look wonderful after a spring of rain. It's amazing. I'm glad. Thanks for playing Blue Bayou. Have you ever heard a voice like Roy Orbison's? Really?
No.
I know I'm old-fashioned, but the guy, every once in a while at late night on Black and White, they show a program that he did, of Roy Orbison. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it is really a fabulous thing to watch.
I'll tell you another guy who you would like. He was on the Imus Ranch Record, Volume 1. He sang Life's Little Ups and Downs. Mm-hmm. Used to be the lead singer of the Mavericks. Mm-hmm. Raul Malo.
I will get...
oh, God, he's got a great voice. Doesn't he, Charles?
He is fabulous. You would like him, Senator. Absolutely.
I'll get him. So a lot going on, my friend.
Well, congratulations.
I watched you with my friend Joe Lieberman, and he's still one of the best guys I've ever known.
Congratulations to President Obama on the success in Iraq.
You can't make it up, can you?
No, here's the thing. If I'm President Obama, this has been the deadliest summer ever for civilian deaths in Iraq. So while the surge worked, I guess, there's still more people dead than ever this summer there. So how do we square all of that?
It really those numbers are not really comparable to what it was when we started the surge. I mean, there was literally hundreds being killed every week, and there was death squads run out of institutions of government. I mean, they were on the verge of a chaotic situation of ethnic strife that would have had profound consequences. But what was entertaining was the president claiming credit for a strategy that he was the most vociferous opponent of and predicted time and time that it could not win. So he announced the success of it and was so small-minded that he couldn't even give a moment's credit to George Bush, who was responsible for the surge at the time in the face of overwhelming opposition from the American public. Look, things are still tough in Iraq, but they've had a contested election. They need to get a government in order, and Iraq will never again be a place where Saddam Hussein could plot to commit weapons of mass destruction and attack the United States of America. It's been a long, tough struggle, but we have succeeded there. Now we've got to get a government functioning and finish this off. But for him to claim credit for a, quote, new strategy, is beyond bizarre.
That's not even something I would do. Like in one of these election deals, where I claim I supported somebody I didn't. So that kind of deal.
The one thing about you, Don, you've always been consistent. You have never wavered. Once you are on board with somebody, you never change. Thank God.
Well, I didn't, but I didn't with you. So I didn't. But I'll tell you another guy I didn't either.
Like a rock, hadn't he, Charles?
Yes, he has.
John Kerry, I didn't either, even though, God. So now let's go to
Afghanistan. God, I just missed Afghanistan a second. I'm proud of Petraeus. I'm proud of the men and women who are there. The strategy can succeed, but if the President of the United States doesn't stand up and say our withdrawal is going to be based only on conditions, then we cannot succeed, or the chances of success are dramatically diminished because you sound an uncertain trumpet and the people in the region start accommodating. That's why the Pakistani ISI have been having dealings with the Taliban. That's why I met a chief down in Kandahar who said, police chief who said, yeah, the Taliban tell us you're leaving, and when you leave, they're going to cut off our heads. And I said, do you think we're leaving? The guy said, yeah, I'm afraid so. So people aren't going to come over to our side and support us if they think we're going to leave them high and dry, and that's why the president is making a serious mistake by not just saying it's going to be conditions-based. He continues to equivocate, and that, to me, leads to the unnecessary risk of American lives.
Of course, more Americans have been killed there this month than last month than ever
the
in
bloodiest of all,
Afghanistan.
and the month, I'm sorry to tell you, the month of August will be too. Just as when we began the surge, the casualties went up as well. It's tragic. I was out at Walter Reed yesterday. There's nothing more humbling and moving than to visit with our wounded, which you have done to a magnificent degree in your support of the men and women who have served. I'm very proud of. But the fact is, we can't allow Afghanistan to return to being a base for attacks on the United States of America. And the same people, the same old chorus from the New York Times and all of them that said we couldn't succeed in Iraq are also saying we can't succeed in Afghanistan. Sometimes somebody ought to be held accountable for their previous positions. Like Joe Biden saying withdraw, divide Iraq into 3 countries, and others saying withdraw to the borders and shoot al-Qaeda from there. A light footprint, as Biden said. Oh, I mean, the list goes on.
Well, I'm one of those people who doesn't think it can work, but I don't think but I don't know enough about it to say that it won't work. I rely on people like you who do know. So
I know it can work.
So tell me how it will work.
You've got to be the same way that frankly, it worked in Iraq. And in Iraq, it's still bloody, and they still have a gridlock government, and that's bad. But they're no longer do we have to worry about al-Qaeda or sectarian violence to dissolve that country and cause a chaotic situation such as I believe would have happened if we hadn't had the surge. But you go in, you hold, you clear, you hold, and then you have the economic, political, and social progress. Do we want Afghanistan to return to a country that oppresses young women and all women in their society to the point where they hang them from the goalposts in the stadium in Kabul? I mean, if the Taliban return, just the human rights aspect of it alone is compelling, but most compelling when you hear this thing, well, there's only 50 al-Qaeda left or 150. Well, al-Qaeda and Taliban work together.
How long are we going to have to stay there to maintain order?
Well, I would say that under the right strategy, a year to 2 years, we could get the situation under control. That's what it took with the surge in Iraq.
Do you think we can leave? And then...
Oh, yeah, sure. Just like we are drawing down from Iraq under the president's, quote, new strategy.
So we won't have to have any troops in either Iraq or Afghanistan.
Oh, I think we'll have some residual troops, but the point is not the troops. We've had troops in South Korea since 1947 or whatever.
Oh, yeah, but there's like 30,000 of them there.
Yeah, but none of them have been killed or wounded in combat, and so then the American people are perfectly satisfied. We've been in Okinawa for a long time. We've been in Germany for a long time. The question is not whether we stay there or not and how many stay. It depends on whether we have the situation under control and American casualties are none or minimal. That's the key to what the American people are worried about. And then when you talk about it being the longest war in Afghanistan, of course it is, and that's terrible. And we've lost over 1,000. My friend, in the Vietnam War, you and I remember we lost 58,000 brave young Americans.
I hope you're right. You know, I resisted saying, Senator, I want you to congratulate me when I tell you what I resisted doing. Is I resisted recommending Raul Malo to you, and then asking if you would ask him for his papers if he can. That's pretty good, huh? So who decided to have this? He's a friend of mine, by the way. So who decided to have this primary on August 24th in Arizona when it's 197 degrees?
Somebody who thought that a low voter turnout would help them. It's going to be a little warm, but we're doing just fine, and really our citizens are the overwhelming majority of them are very angry about the judge's decision in the southern part of our state. As you well know, it is not a secure existence. That's why our government put up signs that say, warning, you are in a human smuggling area and drug smuggling area. And the violence on the other side of the border has escalated to a point of incredible level, to the point where journalists are kidnapped because they reported on a situation in northern Mexico where the people were let out of prison. Prisoners were let out of prison to go murder people. I mean, 23,000. You talk about casualties? 23,000 Mexicans have been murdered in the last 4 years, and it continues to escalate in this drug war. I mean, it is, as you know, it's incredibly serious. We've closed our consulate in Juarez.
We're going to have to leave it here. I hope you're right. I hope you win the election. That's one. And I hope you're right about Iraq and Afghanistan, Senator. So.
I thank you, my friend, and I understand the cynicism, but we have a strategy, and we have a general, and we have the men and women serving who are the best I've ever seen.
Senator John McCain here in the I'm Swing program is coming up on 11 minutes till the hour.